This iPhone is an amazing purchase right now. Coming up, let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. This iPhone right here is an amazing purchase right now. This is the iPhone 7 Plus. I'm going to explain to you why shortly in this video. I want to mention that, first of all, to get this phone right now, if you find it third party, you're going to find it refurbed under like 500 bucks. You might even find it used, good deals on Swappa in the threes, maybe the high threes, early fours or low fours. And that's pretty incredible for everything you're getting. Now, if you do buy it at the Apple Store themselves, it's going to run you $569 to start, $669 for the 128 gigs. So if you're going to Apple Store, I wouldn't get this new because you can just get an 8 Plus, so that's already $699. You're only like 20 bucks off. Might as well get the A11 and all that. But this one right here, find it refurbed, find it secondhand, and you're gonna get a heck of a deal for the 7 Plus right now. Okay, so let's talk about design. Now, when it comes to design, Apple has pulled it off again, where they brought a phone just a year or two later that looks radically different from the new phone, making you feel like your phone looks obsolete. However, there are some drawbacks to the iPhone 10 design. It does have a notch, so it's not fully an all screen. So if you don't like that, you can just stay put and wait until they get to an all screen status design. Also, you lose your Touch ID, something that you might be very accustomed to from your prior iPhone. In addition to that, you get a weightier feeling phone in a smaller package. Yes, it is very comfortable to use sometimes, but I find that the weight distribution on the iPhone 7 Plus gives you more screen for that weight. Also, that 16:9 aspect ratio doesn't come with the compromises of this aspect ratio found on the iPhone 10. So look at the iPhone 7 Plus design as a practical utilitarian piece of gear. It's kind of like the MacBook Pros of 2015 when they had the SD card slots and all that stuff, and then they went to 2016. They didn't really change the design, but they did take off some features. That's what happened with the 7 Plus. The 7 Plus lost the headphone jack. The 7 Plus no longer has the clicky home button. It has the capacitive button. Older MacBooks had a regular click, just like the older iPhones. So to me, this is kind of like the 2016 MacBook Pro when it comes to a smartphone. It doesn't have any radical new differences, but it does eliminate some features like the headphone jack. Overall, the design is practical, reliable, and useful. It doesn't have a flashy design that's going to stand out. However, there's multiple colors that come with this phone, including rose gold, gold, silver, matte black, jet black, as well as product red. You have to find that third party. And there's plenty of accessories. The accessory market is huge for the iPhone 7 Plus. So I think that overall, the design, while not the flashiest thing on the block anymore, can still please many users, even though it's 2018 and we're pushing towards an all-screen design. This is very utilitarian. I want to quickly talk about the weight distribution. It's a pretty light phone for its size, and I think that makes it pretty amazing. Big 16:9 panel, goes in landscape mode, and it weighs under 180 grams. So this is a pretty light phone for the size. You're gonna like the 7 Plus when it comes to its weight. Even I think even people who like small phones will be able to manage the weight on this device. It's not that heavy. Touch ID still remains here. This is 2nd gen. Now mine's going a little bit slow because I didn't turn off the unlock part and accessibility, but it's still a very fast way to operate your phone. You don't even have to look. You can pull it out of your pocket. You'll get habitually used to this, and then you won't even be, you'll pull it out and it'll already be unlocked because you'll just hit the Touch ID in your pocket while you're pulling it out of your pants. So this one right here, still very useful, and a lot of people won't even leave their old iPhones because Touch ID is gone. I mean, I think we have to get used to it not being here no more. I don't know if we'll ever see it again. We'll probably see inside the display Touch ID, but we're not there yet. iPhone 7 Plus also offered water resistance. So if you spill any water on here or you get, stuck in the rain, you're not really going to mess the iPhone 7 Plus up. It has IP67, not the deeper IP68 that gives you even more water resistance, but it's enough to give you peace of mind. Next up is the display. The display is incredibly sharper than the iPhone XR that's even coming out. 1080p, 401 pixels per inch. And yes, while Apple does know how to calibrate displays, you can't get around a pixel per inch being much lower on the XR versus the 7 Plus. This is 401 pixels per inch, so it's still pretty high when it comes to that. And also, they tuned this display to be very nice on the eye. I just really love the way the iPhone 7 Plus was tuned. The colors are just about perfect when it comes to the calibration. And let's be honest, the performance on these phones are still fantastic on the iPhone 7 Plus. I mean, unless you really want the gesture-based OS, this guy right here, Touch ID might be a little bit slower to come back home, but the applications are all very well optimized, and I actually have switched between the 7 Plus and the 10s Max multiple times since I bought the 10s Max. I just want to see what it's like to use both. And I don't miss a beat. When I'm on either phone, I don't really have any issue with performance. Like I can swap between them and never really bugs me that, you know, I'll go to a 7 Plus. In terms of the actual performance, unless you're doing video editing or really pushing the phones, which I can say 90% of most people are definitely not doing, you're not gonna notice really any slowdown when it comes to the 7 Plus versus even the latest. I mean, Apple's 2018 iPad released with the same processor that's in the 7 Plus. We're not going to go on too much about the software. It's iOS 12, the refinement version of iOS 11, which had so many problems last year. It brings the new screen time mode. It brings more battery enhancements to help you, track your battery a little bit better. It has Siri shortcuts, which Apple believes is going to be huge for the iPhone. And it just cleans everything up, makes it faster, and it's an overall really good software for the iPhone 7 Plus. It brought new life to the speed of this phone, bringing it back to its iOS 10 days for me. Landscape orientation on the 7 Plus is something you won't get on the 10R or the 10s Max. Battery life is something that I also think makes this an amazing purchase because it's still a really good battery life. If you find one with good battery health, you're gonna get through 1 to 1.5 days. Never had an issue at all with battery life on the 7 Plus. Now I know some people don't have the same experience with battery life and they said the 8 Plus got much better, but I found that the 8 Plus and the 7 Plus both easily get through a full day. Now, the 3D Touch here is useful if you do make use of it. It's kind of like the S Pen on the Note series. If you don't use it, you won't care, but it's here. So it's still nice to have, whether you like it or not, it's still there on the 7 Plus. So you do have an extra premium feature you won't even get on the latest 10R, for example. Cameras are not the best anymore. They're definitely not the best on an iPhone. They don't have the smart HDR, but they still have the critical portrait feature. Now the depth effect features have gotten much better on the newer iPhones, but they still have all your basic modes. And I can tell you right now, this dual 12 megapixel camera right here will not disappoint on the 7 Plus. Although this camera is not a beast camera like all the newer smartphones, it can still do mostly what you need it to do, and it won't disappoint in daylight. But in low light, it can be a little bit disappointing. So don't expect the best low light here for the 7 Plus, but still anything you take in good lighting, you will be happy with this phone. It also shoots 4K video, pretty good 4K video, mind you, and the audio don't sound bad either on this device. So in conclusion, I made this video because I think this is the most amazing iPhone purchase right now when it comes to the cheapest, biggest, most beastly iPhone you can get with the latest software that is guaranteed. Maybe it doesn't have as many multiple zingy colors like the iPhone 10R does offer you, but it does give you 3D Touch, which is always a nice feature to have on this device. It does give you a 1080p panel. It does go in landscape, so it still feels like a mini iPad. It definitely has the efficient A10 CPU, 3 gigabytes of RAM, just like the iPhone 10R. It has great cameras on the rear. It does have a telephoto lens. This phone is, I think, the best value you can get under $500 in iPhone land right now. That's it for me. The iPhone 7 Plus right now is an amazing iPhone purchase if you're looking for a beastly phone on a budget. Speaking of budget, if you're waiting for the iPhone 10R, it's coming to the channel tomorrow. Stay tuned. Just because you've seen it at other sources, I'm just like you. I buy these phones. We got to wait till launch day. So we will have it here. Subscribe for more. Let me know your thoughts on what you want to see going forward. And if you found this video helpful, entertaining, enjoying in any way, shape, and form, click that like button for me. I will catch you all in the next episode. If you're picking one up, enjoy the 7 Plus. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.